Today, I'm going to show you why businesses fail and what you can do to not be one of those businesses. You've probably heard the scary stat before. 1 in 4 businesses fail in their first year. After 5 years, nearly half are gone. After 10 years, 65% toast. But what if I told you that it doesn't have to be you? Today, we're going to break down the real reasons behind those stats and what you can do to beat the odds. At the end, I'm going to tell you one question every successful founder asks themselves, and it's not what you think. First, let's meet Sam. Sam started a fitness studio with high upfront costs that included equipment, rent, and staff. At first, memberships rolled in, but here was the problem. Sam priced his service too low, reinvested in new equipment too fast, and didn't understand how much cash he was going to eat. By month 18, revenue was coming in, but not enough to cover reinvestment and overhead. Credit cards were maxed out, emergency funds were gone, bank accounts were empty. Sam didn't fail because nobody wanted to go to his gym. He failed because cash ran out before growth caught up. Now, Sam is not a real person, but Sam is like more than one person I have spoken to in the past. Sam is not alone, and you are not alone. According to CB Insights, 38% of startups die because they run out of cash. And often, that's just a symptom of a deeper problem. Today, we're going to break down 6 industry traps that quietly sink businesses. The trap number 1 is the cost to launch, which is what Sam felt. He thought he was going to be able to cash flow his business, and so he had a set amount of cash in the bank. But it turned out that 18 months was not enough cash, and he wasn't able to get cash flow positive. Did he have a good business? Maybe, maybe not. But he didn't have enough cash in the bank to continue on. Next, we forget about reinvestment. Sure, you have the money to launch, but eventually that equipment you bought, the overhead, all of those things require that you spend more money. If we don't account for that reinvestment cycle, it's very easy for a successful business to now all of a sudden be drowning in either the cost of that reinvestment or the debt associated with that reinvestment. Next, you have no competitive moat. Sure, you're a first mover. Great, congratulations. But certain industries, certain types of things allow for fast followers. If you don't understand that, you can find yourself swimming in that initial success and then realize a couple years later that you have high profile competitors that are squeezing you out of the market. Fourth, you have the operational overwhelm. We think that, oh, we just need to get over this next hump. But in reality, that after that next hump is another hump and another hump and another hump. And if you're not made for that level of growth, that operational overwhelm can come and sink even a successful business. The mismanagement of funds, of staff, of your product, of your service can all take what was initially a good idea in a good business and turn it into one that is struggling. Fifth, we have the churn machine. You can get people in the door, you can sell them, but you can't keep them from walking out the back. I've seen this time and time again with agencies. They're really good on the front end of selling, but then they struggle with that retention element. It's not until they fix retention that they have truly a successful business. If customers are leaving faster than they come in, it's only a matter of time before that takes you to zero. And then number 6 is economic whiplash. The downturn is always going to come. The struggle is always going to come. That is guaranteed in business. If you're not prepared for that, you will be the first casualty. These aren't just buzzwords. These are predictors of survival. Did you prepare for how much it was going to cost to launch? Did you prepare for the reinvestment? Did you prepare for your competition? Did you prepare for the growth and the complexity that comes with that? Did you prepare for the churn? Did you think about your delivery and what that was going to look like? Did you prepare for the downturn? Did you set aside cash for the other side? CB Insights looked at 111 startups that failed, and they determined what the top reasons for those failures were. I have the top 4 here. They ran out of cash. They had no market need. They got outcompeted. They had a flawed business model. You can see the rest. I'll link to the article down below. What stuck out to me with this list is that most failures weren't caused by one reason. Ran out of cash being top on the list tells us that. It means that they were going and going and going until they couldn't go anymore. That's ultimately what led to failure. But there are other symptoms and things that were happening along the way that were the why behind they ran out of cash. They were results of small cracks, but multiple cracks that ultimately turned into collapse. So what's the nugget that we have here? It's that failure isn't always final. It's often the filter. The truth behind the failure rates is a lot of business owners are successful, but they have a pile up of failures in their past. It's also that some people are just not made to succeed. They didn't put their full effort and full energy into that particular thing. Too many people try once, fail, and stop. But the ones who try again, they learn, they adjust, and they build better for the next time. That's your edge, and that's the gold that we're all chasing. I encourage you, think about what you can do to stop from those 6 things that are some of the most common reasons that people fail. But more so, give yourself shots on goals, iterate, and figure out ways to keep trying new things. Because the ones that are most successful aren't because they're always the smartest. It's because in some cases they were dumb enough to keep trying. Looking at failure as this white and black, this is the one reason. When we see that there are those multiple reasons, what that tells me is that we have to continue down the path, continue iterating, continue trying, prepare as much as we can, but never, ever, ever give up. So let's ask ourselves, what industry traps do we need to plan for? Which failure factors am I most likely to face? And most importantly, will I take the next shot if this one fails? Because failure isn't what ends you. It's what educates you if you'll let it.